questions.
Well, first of all, that's why I got the shades on. Shout out to the people here at Tupelo. I talked about it all week. This game was more than just basketball. It was an opportunity to make a statement, all right, for our fans who go out of their way, and then us do a nice gesture to come back to them. So thank you. Thank you for the free shades that they handed me when I got here yesterday, all right? But most importantly, and talking about Elvis Presley, we had a little jailhouse there in the first quarter, all right, where we couldn't score the ball. But I've got a team of dogs. They're just relentless, and they find a way. But a lot of also, I want to give a major shout out to Belmont. There's a lot of people who won't play Belmont. They don't want that matchup. Bard is as good as coach as anybody in the country. We've referenced they play the 7th toughest schedule in the country. We had nothing but major respect for them. So for us to find a way, this is a huge, huge win. And I'll be at church tomorrow.
Robbie in the front.
Those last couple seconds or whatever, you don't see that a whole lot. Foul called right there. What did you see in that possession, and also for Destiny to go up there after missing a couple games and hit those shots?
Yeah, sometimes you need a little luck, right? But I think it wasn't so much the call being made because, to your point, the last 2 minutes, it was happening that way. I think we're up 6. They drive down and jump in our body and call a foul. So they were making the calls that if you were near the body, they were going to call it. But ultimately, us having that lead, I don't think we got it until 7 minutes and 39 seconds to get some breathing room and handle the whistle and just most importantly find a way. I couldn't be more proud of this group. I talked to them earlier too in the first quarter. I said, y'all, shots aren't going in, but I think this was our 6th 30-point quarter, and I told them with the energy that we've got and the playmakers, we're never out of a game.
1-0.
How big was Ocott for you guys in that fourth quarter?
Huge. You know, a month ago, I told her to get out of the paint because she got her first 3 seconds. She didn't even know what that was. All right. Today, I think she found out what grit is. All right. They doubled her. They hit her hard. They prevented her. But you know what? You found out a lot about that kid because shout out to our fan base. They were unbelievable. They were energetic, and she seized the moment. She had a huge bucket, but most importantly, some big rebounds for us too.
Jacob.
Destiny gives you 13 points off the bench after missing the last couple of games. How much of a lift was that for your team?
Man, awesome. I think you learned also a lot about her because, you know, with 3 free throws and they're reviewing the time and all that, as a coach, it's like, how do you handle that moment? You want to make sure nobody talks to her. Do you talk to her? Do you put people on the line? I mean, we probably went through 36 scenarios with my coaching staff there, but most importantly, the kid who needed to seize the moment, she was like, man, I got this. And I told the rest of the staff, just let her make it.
Robbie.
You have high turnovers. You have 3 for 19 from 3. I mean, you've had a couple of games like this where last year before, you might have lost it.
Yeah.
What's this team doing differently that they're able to overcome that and find ways to win these games?
I just think it's the huddles. You know, we've talked about this at halftime too. It's demeanor. It's a life lesson. All right. It's one thing to get punched, but when you come in there and like, okay, this is where we're making mistakes, but it's not Belmont. Right? They're giving us the open shots, or we're driving it too deep and we're creating the turnovers that if we clean this up, y'all, we've got that. And as a coach, I keep saying it, the best teams I've ever been a part of is player-led, and this team keeps leading each other, and it's fun to watch.
This is 4 straight games where Jakayla has hit 20 points and 4 very different kind of games for you guys and different tests.
Yeah.
How important is it to have that reliability and her stepping into that role?
Yeah, it's huge, and I think it's got magnified this game because she had foul trouble. Again, most players, when they get foul trouble, they take, I call them smoke breaks, all right? They take them off. They'll take a 30-second here, a minute here, but she just keeps playing both ends of the floor. And I keep talking about the best players play the game. And when you get it after on the defensive end, it's funny how the offensive game can reward you. And boy, did she come up with some big layups there in the third quarter.
You mentioned earlier this week you learned you have a tough team on that road trip y'all were on. What was kind of the message to your team going into the fourth quarter trailing by 8?
Yeah, again, just credit to the people on my team and my players. First of all, shout out to my staff. I thought they did a great job being in my ear all game with things that we talked about, because here's the thing about us. What is Mississippi State basketball? We're scout and report defensive team. So they had great poise and great suggestions with subs. And then just, again, my team just has an attitude right now that they don't want to lose. all right, that they wanted to, find a way and most importantly, win in front of our fans. And what a special night it was today to come here to Tupelo, all right, to represent this state and most importantly, come out with a huge NCAA tournament win.
What does it say about this team, even with the struggles the defense had here and there, to be able to come out and win against this NCAA tournament quality team?
Well, I think it says a lot for the opposing coach because you're like, they just scored 70 points and went 3 for 19 from the three-point line, right? Also, we went 12 for 21. All right, you make half of those shots and you make your free throws at an 80% rate. Now we're talking about 100 points. All right, so I think that's where I like to look at the lens and more about who we can become when we're really on, but also know that, you know what, if we don't show up, you better buckle up because we're gonna fight you for 4 quarters.
You have more questions for Coach?